Now then, Fairmouth, how are we doing? World Sim Series MX5 Cup for Season 2 for me. Round 2, Lime Rock Park. Race 3, ignoring what it says in the title. And this is free practice where I see people doing 56.8s. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not that good. And I'm going to struggle. But going into practice, I'm in Division 2. Good. Okay, right, fine. So I was looking forward to a race against people of my own caliber. I wasn't just going to get left behind. I want to catch up and I want to get into Division 1. And I'll get there pretty quickly as my rating increases, but my rating is not going to increase if I keep crashing out of races. Going out of practice, people just got into. Nobody bothered really setting a time. This guy went around and at least made some kind of time, but not a particular time. Anyway, into qualies. Somebody qualified on a 58.5. There was a 58.6 for Bello Eric. Me on a 58.7. I never got a decent clean lap in that quali. And every time I thought I was going to get a good time, I ended up going off somewhere. So that 58.7 is pretty much a banker lap, I'll be honest with you. Anyway, looking at that grid, I thought to myself, I am in competition. Like a podium is going to be not a guarantee, but a pretty likely outcome. And I'm going to be pushing for the win. And I expected to be pushing the win. And I would have been sorely disappointed if I wasn't in competition for the win. Anyway, here comes that race. Alright, got me brew in me, got me gloves on. I'm in third place. I reckon I should be able to win this, to be honest. We'll find out. Oh, awkward. Still kinda cold. Don't crash. Come on now, don't crash. Righto, second place, right. They're a bit greedy, to be fair.
Oh, god damn it. Ah, shit. Bit late on brakes there, never mind. I'm rather hoping that those two are going to slow each other down, you know. Oops. Ooh. This guy's randomly fucking lifting all over the place. Ah, shit. Looked in mirror. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Run! Go! Thumbs up, my man, thumbs up. So yeah, didn't win that. Didn't win that by 0.042 of a second. I feel like I should have won that on T1 when I looked in the mirror and I went off course. I had that corner and he had enough room to drive on, and I didn't need to look into that in the mirror at that time. I wanted to because I was self-conscious of how I had had incidents in the past on corners without looking in the mirror. And looked in the mirror and then wasn't looking at the track. So that I can learn from. So Bello Eric, Crash Team Racing, what a name for your team. I did thumbs up that guy. I think that might have been his first race. I think there was that South African guy. That was probably the same guy from the previous race as well. So the field there was 3 people who were fast, and the rest who had just jumped on. Like Stephen Wex, we'd seen in a previous race. He's yet to get his feeling really into it. He's yet to get his toe into the flow of it. I'm confident most drivers will get that, and I'm, you know, confident that that guy will as well. Maybe has some equipment that's holding him back. You know, maybe if he's playing on a joypad or something, or maybe he just doesn't have time to practice. But you know, most people I would expect to get up to around about the 58s on that course, to be honest. Whether or not they're low 58s or high 58s is where it becomes different. So yeah, in the flying corner going to the bridge after the hump, I was not lifting off all the way, and I was getting good grip on the front and on the back, which is how come I was able to catch up with Bello Eric as I was, and I was having to lift quite a lot when I was behind him. Now, a feature of this course is that the person in front, they have well, I mean, obviously they've got the position, but they command the road much more than a lot of other races. Like in Laguna Seca, there's quite a number of places where you can overtake. Here, there's only really two places that you're on the brakes. It's into T1, arguably T2, but not really that much. So there's a lot of drafting, slipstreams. There's a lot of trying to get that corner just a little bit better so that you've got that little bit more speed. It's a tricky one to overtake on, but the biggest trick is, and you could see it there, everyone is really aware that if you touch, someone goes flying, because collision physics in Assetto Corsa are like that. They didn't learn how to crash cars into each other because they didn't want to crash cars into each other to study it. So overtaking, I was tentative. Abu Bakr, that guy, the South African guy, was equally tentative. You could see he was rather stuck behind Bello as well. And we both I and the South African guy, didn't want to push him off, didn't want to push Bello off the track. So Bello took the victory there. And to be honest, whilst I could have and probably should have won it, at the end of the day, Bello did deserve it for making less mistakes than anybody else. I do have one incident. I'm not entirely sure where that incident came from. I'm pretty sure I didn't hit anybody, and I'm pretty sure I didn't hit a wall or anything like that. So I'm not entirely sure where that incident came from, but that incident exists. God knows. At least I got 19 points towards my rating after that one, for having beaten people with a higher score than that. So yeah, I very much enjoyed that. Obviously, I want to be doing that in Division 1. I want to be pushing for the race victory in Division 1, but I'm not there yet. I'm relatively sure once I get into Division 1 that I will learn faster and I will learn more racecraft from those around me. But the problem is, when I'm in Division 1, I have a tendency to push to go that bit faster than the guy in front. The car in front, I should say, the driver in front. And the driver in front is usually right on the limit of what they can do, and that's pretty much the limit of what I can do. Certainly with the equipment that I have right now. And I don't expect to, gain a second by getting a low tail brake and a clutch, but I do expect to get a bit faster once I get better equipment. So yeah, in that race I was slowing myself down for the fact that I had to slow myself down because I was driving around behind guys who were defending from me. If I was racing against AI, then I'd probably have managed to find a way past. Cats start going mad. Midnight feast. What do you expect? But yeah, racing against AI, you don't mind quite so much if you give them a little bit of a tap. Whereas in real life humans racing, I say real life humans racing humans in a computer game, then you don't want to be giving anybody taps. And everybody in that race was very fair. I've got to congratulate Bello for being as fair as he was, to be honest. With a rating of 1,000, I might imagine that was their first race. But there was a number of times where they could have dominated the road a bit more, run me out of room, and they didn't do. So I'm very glad, very appreciative, and it made for a better experience for us both that they didn't do that. And Bello took the victory at the end of the day. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. See you in a bit.